Hi everybody, it's Trisha Keel at Tomorrow's Key. I'm here with a special request for a little background and history on feng shui. So we'll begin where it all began in northern China thousands of years ago. There are different considerations as to whether or not it was 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, or 8,000 years, and people have different reasons to believe each of these quantities of years, but when you're talking 10,000 years ago, really, whether it's 10,000 or 3,000, it really, the point is moot. So we'll just consider that long, long ago, way before Christ, a millennium or two before Christ, in northern China, where it's very, very cold because it's up close to Siberia. There were nomadic tribes that crossed the northern plains of China, and they followed whatever animal there was across the northern plains of China, and they lived their lives very closely attuned to nature. They know that there was times when it was hot, and there was times when it was cold, and there was times when it rained, and there was times when it was dry, and they knew that there were cycles of weather patterns. They knew about the moon and the sun, and they lived their lives according to the wheel of the year, the cycle of life. They were very much connected with nature, much like the American Indians are very much connected to nature. So the day came years and years ago when the nomadic tribe, someone somewhere, decided that they were no longer going to be nomads, they were going to farm. It is my personal theory that there was some woman who was extremely pregnant who threatened her partner with severe bodily harm if he didn't get her out of the cold Siberian wind so she could deliver a child. And at that point he would have gone, what am I supposed to do? And as most men do, their first clue would have been to get her warm. And if the wind was very, very cold and coming out of the north, then you want to put something between you and the wind to protect you from that cold blast of wind. All of us have walked through the canyons of a downtown city or through the woods or into the wind and felt the impact that the wind has blowing on us. Remember, feng shui means wind, water. So the effect of the wind, although wind is invisible, is enormously powerful. And especially for those of us that live where hurricanes happen, inarguable. Just like those who live near the water will tell you that while the only way you can hold on to water is with an open hand, the softness of water can take away a beach in one severe thunderstorm, much less in a hurricane. The constant, steady dripping and running of water has its long-term effect. Another example of that would be the Grand Canyon. So you wouldn't think that the softness of water would be able to cut through stone, but it does. The wind and water affect all of our lives one way or another. We got to have air to breathe, and we got to have water to survive. So feng shui finds its deepest roots in man's natural connection to nature. There are records that the semi-divine emperor of the Chu dynasty in 1100 something, maybe 1122 BC, made appeals to the gods and maybe offerings to request good weather and good crops and things such as this. I know that it is said that if there was a natural disaster like a tsunami or a drought, that the emperor pretty much had lost his touch and was very likely to be overthrown because the people wanted someone to lead them that they felt was better connected to heaven and earth than they were. So it's kind of like if you work for a company and you don't feel like the guy running the company knows as much as the employees do, then it's not likely that that guy is going to remain boss for long. Same sort of principle. The evolution of feng shui began, as I mentioned, paying close attention to man's comfort in his environment. If the Siberian winds were 40 below zero, then you wanted to get out of the wind. So you wanted a tall, solid wall or protection at your back. You'll notice this chair that I have is a tall, solid wall of protection at my back. If I were sitting on a bar stool, I would not be nearly so comfortable nor protected. This is called black tortoise energy, and it is the first part and the primary part of the support of the celestial animals. The Chinese used 5 elements in order to describe the energies that they found in their environment. Now in the West we use the 4 elements. We use earth, air, fire, and water. But in China, they use earth, fire, water, metal, and wood. Both are the main elements that are found in each environment. And the Chinese, through their description of the 5 elements, used metaphors. And the black tortoise energy is the water energy. It is all about emotional support and the depth of your emotions and your feelings and your connection to the river of life that you swim through with all of society on any daily basis. Black tortoise support that is missing is often discovered easily when I'm in an initial conversation with a client, because I'll hear things like, they're always doing things behind my back, or talking behind my back, or stabbing me in the back, or no one's got my back. And I will generally find that this person has no headboard on their bed, or has a chair that is low, like the little secretary's chairs that just barely cover the lower lumbar support, or they sit in a cubicle with their back exposed like a child who's being punished. So the energy to your back is the black tortoise support. The energy to your left is the green dragon support. And green dragon is all about spring and wood energy and new beginnings and initiating whatever it is that you want to get started. Green dragon is the wood element, and it is, dragons were considered to be able to fly, and so it is always taller than your head when you're standing. The white tiger energy would be to your right and low, about the height of a tiger's back, and it is all about the autumn and endings and power and creativity and money and connections, like the Godfather. This is men with silver hair at their temples. This is the completion, finalization of projects or contracts or things that you're working on. The clear open view in front of you is the red phoenix energy, or the fire energy, and this is all about summer and the middle of life and vision, both through space and time. Can you see what's coming at you down the road, and do you know where you want to be 1, 3, 5 years into the future? People that have the support of the celestials are able to see what is coming at them through a vast expanse. They have a wide open view of what's coming towards them, not their back to the door. Finally, the 5th element, earth energy, is the golden cicada, or the golden snake, or golden dog energy, and it's considered to come from your solar plexus. And this energy source is always considered from your point of view. So while this is my left hand and this is my green dragon, where you're looking at me, if you put your hand on the monitor in front of me, it would be your right hand. So you need to remember that this is always from your point of view, because your energy for you, the golden cicada, is within your heart. So as you turn in any direction, green dragon is over here when I'm facing this way, or green dragon is over here when I'm facing in this direction, or green dragon is here when I'm facing you and here when I'm turned away from you. Again, it's very important that you understand it is all about you, and it does come from your point of view. So the history of the celestial animals was called the form school, and people would look at the environment and they would look for black tortoise support. They'd want a hill in the back, preferably a hill that's domed and shaped like a tortoise's back. Because if somebody stabs you in the back, you're either going to die or be paralyzed. It's not going to be just a tiny little wound. You want your back protected. The Jesse James syndrome is not just an American hang-up. It's a real deal. Humans must protect their backs. Think about when the Indians would attack. The pioneers and settlers would circle the wagons, and if it got down to it, they would stand back to back, firing their six-shooters or their rifles or whatever to protect one another's back. The form school would look for greenery, green grass, green trees, lush, abundant growth, which would mean that you could grow crops and that there would be water on the property, and so there would be fish and there would be wildlife and there would be deer and rabbits, and you could grow crops and you would have everything that you could say grace over at Thanksgiving. This is the green dragon wood energy. White tiger energy would be a hill or a lower protection, but still raised up, not as high as the green dragon. If the tiger is taller than the green dragon, this is a dying energy area, more of a place to site a grave than a site the home or office of a living place. And again, you want the most distant view you can get, so the man on the highest hill would be the man with the most money and the man with the best view and the man with the most power, because he has the most red phoenix energy. If you have further questions about feng shui and the background of feng shui, I refer you to Sarah Rosbach's book, which doesn't look like this anymore. It's called Feng Shui, The Chinese Art of Placement. It was written in 1973. It's one of many books, but she's got some good, simple to understand stuff in there. Again, this is Trisha Keel, Tomorrow's Key. I thank you for your time.